From lost Egyptian treasure to a mysterious underwater base, and even a terrifying cave full of Mayan artifacts, here are 10 of the craziest things ever found underwater. Number 10. SpongeBob and Patrick. A recent ocean expedition about a mile beneath the surface of the Atlantic Ocean made a pretty weird discovery. The expedition found SpongeBob SquarePants and his friend Patrick, who lives in a pineapple under the sea. Okay, maybe they weren't living in a pineapple, and it wasn't technically SpongeBob and Patrick, but they definitely found their doppelgangers. The Okeanos Explorer captured video of a sponge and a sea star sitting right beside each other, with the sponge looking like the yellow cartoon character, and the starfish looking like his best friend. One of the scientists watching the live feed from the submersible was Christopher Ma. He's the one that immediately noticed the underwater creature's uncanny resemblance to the beloved animated characters, and he tweeted the picture, which of course went viral. But here's where things get sinister. In this case, the sponge and the star were probably not actually friends. Researcher Christopher Ma says the sea stars actually feed on sponges in real life. The reason the starfish was discovered so close to the sponge is probably because the sponge was about to be the sea star's next meal. The reason the sponge was so bright yellow is because it has a chemical defense system that makes it turn yellow to keep the sea star from eating it. We don't know how things turned out because the underwater vehicle had to keep moving, but it's highly likely that Patrick ate SpongeBob for dinner. Number 9. Lake Como treasures. There's a hidden world underneath Lake Como filled with all kinds of incredible treasures. Vintage cars, battle tanks, and even wrecked airplanes. It's one of the most stunning lakes in the world. At 1,394 feet between the Italian Alps and the Swiss Alps. It's also the deepest lake anywhere in all of Italy. Divers have discovered a huge collection of wreckage in this mysterious lake, including unexploded bombs and rusting motorcycles. There's a giant steamship rotting at the bottom of the lake too, a land cruiser, an abandoned gondola, and explorers have even found the tile floor of an ancient church that was submerged in the year 1400. According to underwater biologist Emilio Mancuso, there is a huge drop-off in the lake that used to be used for sinking cars, which is why there's such a huge vintage graveyard in the lake. Some divers believe a lot of them are actually stolen vehicles that people dumped in the water to get rid of the evidence. Number 8. Mayan funerary offerings. At the bottom of a giant sinkhole in Mexico, archaeologists have discovered funerary offerings. The sinkhole is known as a cenote, and this particular cenote was found near the incredible Mayan ruins of Chichen Itza. The funerary offerings consist of human bones, pottery vessels, knives, and jade beads. Experts say the offerings was made sometime around the 9th century as part of a ritual to bring rain during the dry season. The National Institute of Anthropology and History say that the ritual goes back to a time when the Mayan had suffered 2 very serious episodes of drought and were desperate to get water on their crops. To try and facilitate rain, the Mayans went deep into the underwater cave, which of course at the time had not been full of water, sacrificed 6 people, and left behind some treasures to appease the gods. Bada boom, bada bing. We wonder if it rained after that, but here's where things get even darker. Aside from the singular ritual, archaeologists found the human remains of at least 20 other people and 100 animals. This has probably been a very important cave for ritualistic ceremonies in the Maya culture before the cave was eventually flooded. Number 7. World War I submarine. A lost submarine from World War I has recently been discovered at the bottom of the ocean with 23 crew members still on board. The haunting wreckage is that of a German U-boat, and it was found off the coast in Belgium. The submarine sank over 100 years ago during a campaign to disrupt Allied shipping routes. At the time, the submarine was reported to have been sunk by an underwater mine, but its wreckage was never discovered. According to ABC News, the submarine was finally found stuck in the dirt at the bottom of the North Sea, about 98 feet deep. 23 of the crew members were still trapped inside of the vessel, which is a type UB-2 U-boat, a small submarine that operated strictly in coastal waters. The crew was carrying 6 torpedoes. The crew is still sealed inside the submarine. Their bodies likely skeletons by now. Well, actually their bodies are definitely skeletons because it's been over a century. Number 6. Egyptian treasure. Marine researchers working off the northern coast of Egypt have recently made a few very unique discoveries involving some extremely rare treasures. A mission in 2021, conducted by a group of researchers from the European Institute of Underwater Archaeology, discovered ancient Greek ceramics, as well as 2,400-year-old wicker baskets with fruit. But these were only the most recent discoveries in an underwater archaeological paradise. Before Alexander the Great founded his city of Alexandria in 331 BC, the largest port anywhere in the Mediterranean was a city called Thonis Heracleion. Today, the city is completely underwater in the Bay of Aboukir, with all of the artifacts being untouched in over 2,000 years. An earthquake devastated the city, and then it was literally sucked into the ocean by the succeeding tidal waves. A massive portion of the Nile Delta collapsed and fell into the sea. 2 cities were destroyed, Canopus and Thonis Heracleion, with the first being found in 1999 and the second a year later in 2000. Another significant discovery made by the team was the remains of a large tumulus, a Greek funerary area, along the northeast entrance canal of the submerged city. The tumulus was covered with elegant funerary offerings that dated back to the beginning of the 4th century BCE. While the ceramics and ancient fruit baskets are definitely amazing, there is a lot more down in the sunken city, from temple ruins to broken shipwrecks. Number 5. The Titanic. The wreckage of the Titanic was found on September 1, 1985, but until just recently, the oceanographer who discovered the wrecked ocean liner, Robert Ballard, has kept the reason why it was found at all a secret. It's now been revealed that the Titanic was actually found because of a secret military operation. At the time, the United States Navy was investigating 2 wrecked nuclear submarines. The search for the Titanic was just a cover story for a secret Cold War mission. The Army desperately wanted to find and photograph its 2 nuclear submarines, but they didn't want the Russians to know what they were up to. So, because it was believed that the legendary Titanic was close to the 2 sunken subs, they used that as their excuse for snooping around in the deep ocean. Amazingly, the nuclear submarines were found, and with the leftover time, only 12 days, Robert was finally allowed to search for the Titanic. It only took him 9 days to find it. The rest is history, as the Titanic was immortalized 10 years later by James Cameron in his movie about the tragic sinking. Number 4. The Morocco Underwater Hotel. A few years ago, the world's very first underwater hotel suite opened, and it's nothing short of extraordinary. It's called the Morocco, and it was the first self-contained building to be completely submerged under the ocean. The beautiful villa is 2 stories tall and includes a master suite located approximately 16 feet beneath the surface of the ocean. The luxury hotel is encased within acrylic and offers unparalleled views of the wild marine environment. It's basically like diving in a glass-walled hotel room, but you don't even need to get wet. This experience is available only in the Maldives, and only for a small fortune. But still, the very fact that we as humans are now able to build self-sustainable houses underwater is pretty incredible. The hotel suite is more of a residence than a typical hotel room. It has bedrooms, a dining room, and an ocean level at the top with a swimming pool. In case you're tired of actually being under the water, you can just walk up the stairs and then swim in the pool while looking at the ocean, hugging you close. Plus, the surroundings have been kept as natural as possible, meaning you have full and uninterrupted views of the sea life. The building itself was constructed in Singapore and then transported to the Maldives and submerged. The room weighs about 600 tons and can be lifted and repositioned using a crane attached to a ship. Would you like to spend the night here? Let us know in the comments down below. Number 3. Alien Base. Something very strange has been spotted, thanks to good old Google Earth and a user with eagle eyes. First of all, vlogger Brian Daniel recently unveiled satellite images of what appears to be an alien body washed up on the beach, with the beach having been evacuated and a small group of government officials standing around the alien body, looking as though they have no idea what to do with the thing. And as if an alien body wasn't creepy enough, Brian then tried to find where it had come from. Still using Google Maps, he managed to locate what appears to be an alien base off the coast of Greece, hidden underwater. But looking very carefully, one can see the obvious shape of a man-made structure, or maybe in this case, an alien-made structure. The ocean facility, according to Brian and other conspiracy theorists, is where UFOs have been hiding themselves while visiting Earth. It's very possible that the alien body also spotted in satellite images could have come from the underwater base. and accidentally drowned in the Mediterranean Sea before being washed up on the beach. Keep in mind that there is no official evidence for any of these theories other than the satellite images. But you never know. This could just be the real deal. What if it is? Number 2. Blood red jellyfish. A mysterious underwater monster was recently spotted by researchers during a deep ocean adventure in the North Atlantic. The creature was found 2,300 feet under the surface. According to the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, it could be a previously unidentified jellyfish. The creature was discovered with its body crimson red, as if literally formed out of nothing except liquid blood. It has 30 tentacles, a body shaped like a bell, and it lives at depths of up to 3,000 feet deep in the Atlantic Ocean. Nobody knows how many of these jellyfish live in the ocean, or what its characteristics are, only that it's blood red and slightly terrifying to look at. It's probably been around for millions and millions of years, and has just never been spotted before by any humans. Jellyfish have been around way before even dinosaurs walked the earth. They move by drifting on ocean currents and pulsing their bodies. And yes, they sting you with their tentacles. It's unknown whether the jellyfish is poisonous, but judging by the looks of it, it's highly likely that it is. And number 1. Roman ruins. For decades, fishermen off the coast of Naples were pulling up weird ancient artifacts in their fishing nets. As it turns out, these artifacts were from the ancient Roman city of Baiae, a kind of holiday resort for the high tier of Roman society. At least 7 emperors, including the notorious Nero and Julius Caesar, had villas here. The city was once described by the Roman poet Sextus Propertius as being a place of vice. In other words, it was a place where emperors and their friends went to party. It was basically the Roman equivalent of Epstein's Island. Today, the city is under 20 feet of water. It sank because of seismic activity that gradually pulled the whole entire area into the water. By the 4th century AD, the city had completely sunk. It's been a protected marine area ever since archaeologists realized what it was back in 2002, but it's hardly been explored. Some of the bigger ruins have been found because they stick so obviously out of the sand, but expert archaeologists say there could be thousands of more amazing artifacts and broken structures hidden deeper. There's a whole lost world down here in the murk, but archaeologists are having a tough time recovering the precious Roman relics. Thanks for watching. Which of these amazing underwater discoveries is your favorite? Have you ever found something cool in the ocean? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and come back again soon for another awesome video. See you next time.